Hi, NATO here again. Another kind of impromptu video. I'm just kind of speaking from the heart, and there's really no script to any of these. But something that I really want to kind of talk about, and that is that people are taking the political beliefs of people and making that their only identity, and people taking their political beliefs and making it their own identity, as if that's the only identity that they have. I don't understand the point of this. I am more than just my political beliefs, as should everybody else. A lot of the YouTube creators that I have seen on here, and actually who kind of inspired me to do this, don't just do political videos. They have some political themes, but there's so much more to that. And I think that by defining people only by their political beliefs, you're going to eliminate a lot of really good people out of your life because you don't agree with them on a political basis. I did a video earlier about how I've been exfoliating friends from decades ago because of political beliefs that we have. I personally haven't changed at all on any of my beliefs at heart, and the other person said that that was stupid, that if I have not progressed on any political beliefs at all, then I'm lesser as a person, and I don't necessarily think that's true. I don't think that that if your stance on gay marriage 12 years ago was that, well, you should let them be married, and 12 years from now your position is still you should let gay people get married. And my reasoning for this, because the term marriage has institutional values outside of religion, and that has had it has a huge impact on daily lives for people. Taxes, financially, benefits, really so much is based on the institutional use of the term marriage in society, that they should be granted that. Because the term civil unions could be different from state to state. In reality, like the state of Iowa, the state of New York, and the state of Florida could all have a different definition of what a civil union is. So therefore, the benefits could be different from state to state to state. But with the term marriage, all 50 states have to recognize the term marriage, and it blankets and codifies the term and benefits across all 50 states. Because if you get married in Iowa, then it counts in Nebraska, it counts in Indiana, it counts in New York and Massachusetts, and vice versa. So the term marriage was important for that purpose. So the fact that I should change that position, because it's been 12 years and I should obviously just change it, it doesn't make any sense to me. So again, my political beliefs are not my only thing that identifies who I am. Being someone who supports Donald Trump but is pro-gay marriage, I mean, they're not necessarily all in the same circles. One of these days I'm going to get a whiteboard and I'm going to start drawing stuff for you folks, because it's a term you should all look up, and I will try to put it down in the comments, is a term called cross-cutting cleavages. It is a political term. I will even try to set up a link to a Wikipedia or some type of page that defines what cross-cutting cleavages are, and you are more than free to go Google them or Wikipedia or Yahoo them all you want. But it's actually one of the basic things that allowed the United States to exist, fundamentally. And by gathering up everyone in political isolated ideologies, you are losing those cross-cutting cleavages, and you're not going to be able to have a system of government for the people and by the people, because then it's just the single issue on everything. And if a single issue dominates everyone who claims to be a conservative or claims to be a liberal, there's not going to be any differentiation between the two groups, and it's all going to be just the far extremes of both. And I don't think that would ever work. I mean, I try to go back to what Washington said about, political party. He didn't like them. In fact, one of the reasons why he left office and didn't seek a third term was that he hated what Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton were doing with their party, with their party systems. And it's the differences between them were kind of the similar as they are today. The future is either in the cities or the future is rural. But there were other things that brought people together that would bring a Democrat or a Republican together on a single issue. And now no one's allowed to do that. You're not allowed to be a Democrat if you support, strong borders. You're not allowed to be a Republican or a conservative if you are, pro-choice. And that's bonkers to me, and I think that should stop. I mean, people are getting fired from their jobs because they believe in pro-choice. I kind of go back and forth on the issue a lot, but I don't tell someone who's pro-life that they're stupid or that they should lose their job or that nothing else that they believe in is a valid opinion. That's ridiculous. Just because I disagree with someone on one issue doesn't mean I don't agree with them on another. And the fact that that's becoming the way the system works, there's no wonder why so many members of Congress and in the House and the Senate are deciding that, throw their towels in. They're not going to do this no more because even though they get paid probably more money than they're worth, the money's not worth it for them if you're constantly beaten down with not being able to vote your conscience, but only being able to vote a party line. And the party line is more increasingly only becoming the extreme ends, either right or left. And that's horrible. Most of the country, the non-governmental members of society, they are really center left, center right. The minority of the minority of the minority could be considered on the far left or the far right of any issue. You gotta have more middle ground. And by the constant polarization of identifying each individual only by their political beliefs is going to make this even more difficult to get away from these extremist, ideologies and have something in the common ground that everyone can live with. Because we all have to live here, if you like it or not, together in one country, unless you want to move to Canada. And good luck with that, because it's a merit-based immigration system in Canada. In fact, most countries, especially anything in the industrialized world, if you want to immigrate there, you have to have a merit skill-based credentials to immigrate there. Visiting is one thing. Moving there indefinitely is a 100% different process. And you think that just because you are a good-hearted liberal and you should have open borders, does that mean that England or Canada or Australia or New Zealand believe that? And Denmark, they're not even in the EU because they don't like some of these things that the EU has done. Some of it because the EU is not liberal enough. Some of it the EU is too liberal on. And they want to maintain their own culture. They want to be able to make more of their own decisions. That's their right to do so. But you can't just say, well, the U.S. is horrible because, I hate everyone on this side, so I'm going to move if these people get elected. Or some college students are threatening to all get castrated if Trump wins or builds a wall. Like, are you kidding me? You're going to castrate yourself because you don't want to bring children into a world where Trump built a wall. Well, the Chinese built a wall. The Romans built a wall. In fact, both of those walls worked. The Great Chinese Wall helped facilitate the growth of the Chinese nation and did increase trade with other people in the areas, but were able to keep the bad element out. Hadrian's Wall in the border between Scotland and the rest of the lower half of Britain was a great example of a wall working. In fact, trade increased between the Romans and the Celts north of the wall. It just eliminated a lot of the fighting between the two groups and normalized relations. So a wall by itself is not bad. So identifying someone as being evil because they want a wall is dumb. I'm just going to tell you that's a dumb idea. Now, do I think that everything about you is dumb, or that you're intolerant, or that you won't listen, or that you're, inconsolable? No, it means that we disagree on a wall. Would I go have a beer with you? No, because I don't drink. Would I go watch a game with you somewhere? Yes, because having a similar sports team is not the same of disagreeing with each other about a wall. I happen to think that a wall could be beneficial as long as there are doors so people could legally come in and out when need be for specific reasons. That's what I think would work. I think that we need to cut out a lot of the rhetoric and really look at making things work for everybody. We can all compromise. A majority of us are adults on both the right and the left. And again, most of them are probably more in the center. But this hyperbole, over-politicized ideology and identity politics, which goes beyond white, black, tall, short, male, female, Hispanic, whatever. It's becoming to individual thought that your identity you can only identify with the things within your spectrum. Like you can only identify with people on the right or only with the left. You're not allowed to have differing opinions even from those groups. You're taking away free will. And to the conservative religious Republicans, you're taking away free will. Smite you. And for the tolerable left, you're telling people that their values and their opinions are not tolerated. That's not being a tolerant group of people. Shame on both of your houses. I'm using my Jewish finger on you. Smite you both. Shame on both of your houses. You guys have got to quit doing this nonsense. Go play in the sandbox or something. Build sandcastles. Go surfing. Go on a road trip. Help benefit the economy. Read a book that's not political. There's a lot of them out there, actually. I spent a lot of time in Barnes & Nobles. Read something. Learn about your city. Learn about the history of your city. Learn about the history of a city that you want to go to in the future. Do something that's not political. Experience life for, just the sake of smelling the roses. My identity is not my politics. My politics don't define me as a person as a whole. You guys have got to stop. You guys have got to start, behaving and playing in the sand together. That's my 2 cents. Peace out.